Hello friends! As you guys can see from the title, today I am doing my Shop My Stash for the month of June. Very excited this month, as I had predicted or anticipated last month. I changed it up and I had so much fun, you guys. I'm having a lot of fun twisting it, turning it a little bit throughout the year. It leaves it a little bit more refresh for me. I can go through my collection a little bit differently and feel like I am having new stuff, but not really spending the money. So this month you'll see what I'm talking about, and I'm excited to continue this throughout the rest of the summer. I know a few of you guys had mentioned that you were going to kind of get this idea as well, and I hope it's going well for you guys, because I have a little bit of a twist again for this month of July. But I'm still going to stick to the theme that I'm trying to do. So if you're interested to see what palettes, what shadows I pulled out this month, stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so if you have no idea what I'm talking about, last month I had mentioned that I wanted to pull out more of my singles, and that meant anything. Any kind of single that I had, I wanted to pull out. So this particular month, pulled out quite a few. I have a drawer full that I have more going, and then I have even more ideas brewing in my brain. So I'm gonna go in through the palettes first to let you guys know exactly what it is that I pulled out, and then I will swatch the singles here so you guys can see them here live, because they're only singles. So I don't have swatches of the singles already filmed, but I will put them on my arm. So the first palette I want to talk about that I pulled out was Lucky Penny. This was actually a really fun eyeshadow palette. Now, this is very monochromatic, very like in its own zone, but it was very beautiful, and the pigmentation of this is gorgeous. So I ended up using these two up here. I ended up using these two with a little bit of the center one. So I used quite a bit of it. It's very beautiful. It is very bronze, coppery, I would say, more coppery, reddish orange than anything. So this is beautiful when I have a tan. I could not pull this off in the wintertime. This is only something that I could pull off in the summertime, but I really like it. And I love the fact that they put in this little light color up here, because that goes beautifully for an inner corner. I have the mattes that work really nicely. There's a nice gradient of mattes. So it's not too monochromatic. So I can get a different looks at it, especially with this dark brown down here. Really like this one. I'm very happy with that. Next palette that I used was the Too Faced Italian Spritz. This was so much fun. I really like this one. I could have used this more than one time. I only used Lucky Penny one time, by the way. This is another one I only used one time. I could have used it differently, but I had other ones that I want to play around with. So I ended up using these two shimmers up at the top, a little bit of this one, these kind of mattes out here, this orangey, yellowy, mustardy color. I try to stay away from the neutrals and try to do those. I ended up using a little bit of this purple one as well, like to put it in the center. It's really pretty. You could take this different ways, and I can see why some people may not like it because of the texture of these. But once again, like I mentioned, these melt in the summertime specifically, and even more on my eyelids. I already have oily eyelids, so when these melt on my eyelids, they look more smooth and creamy looking, and more of like a putty kind of look than a textured look on my eye. So in the summertime, in the humidity, it brings it out even more. So this is when I like to pull this kind of textured shadow out, is mainly in the summer, but this is gorgeous. Really liked it. I might pull this out again because I really like this one. Then we have this one. This is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism. This is something that I really enjoy, really like. So what I ended up doing with this, I stuck with these two right over here and ended up putting these two on my eyelids. I actually wore this to a really nice outing, and I enjoyed it very much. Very beautiful. I stayed away from the pinky shades. I'm not really too much into pinks in the summertime, but I could see how this could be like a nice peachy eye. But I really wanted to get more of the browns in here. Very beautiful. Really enjoyed this one. Yeah. Really like this one a lot. I could keep going with this one, but I wanted to just get the one use out of it to really get my love for it and get it out of my system. Last palette that I used was the Golden Palette by Natasha Denona. I actually used this 4 different times this past month, and I really like this one. The only color that I could see that I'm not going to get much use out of is this one right here, because I don't like a very yellowy gold, but I can mix it with other shades. These toppers in here are gorgeous. I really like the neutral of it. I will say that I actually like this one more than I Need a Nude. I Need a Nude is a little bit more rosy. It is more neutral, but it's more rosy, and I prefer more of a brown, a warm, neutral brown, and this one gives it to me. Not to say anything about the original gold because I own that one, but whenever I reach for the gold one, I don't reach for the teals. So I'm kind of happy the teals aren't in here because I wasn't reaching for them anyway. They're like very specific and targeted shadows. And I keep hearing a lot of people complain that she didn't put the teals in here. But let's be honest. How often are you using those teals in the other one? Not often. I've yet to see anybody hit pan on those suckers. So for it not to be in here, for me, I was kind of happy about that because I'd rather have the other shades all put together in here and I can get the majority of, I can use most of these. The majority of them. The only one that I would say is this one, but I could swap that one out for a different one. Really like this one. I'm happy I purchased it. I know it's very redundant, but isn't everything redundant? I'm surprised because I keep hearing a lot of people complain about that one, but indie brands are coming out with same color stories as well. So it ain't no different, guys. It ain't no different. Now let's move on to the singles that I pulled out this month. I had a lot of fun with this one. So let's start out with this. This is the only liquid shadow that I pulled out this month. This was brand new, had not used it. This is why I wanted to dive into this. This is the Wet n Wild Shadow Silk in the shade Natural Terra. I don't know if they still make this. So this is a doe foot applicator like this. And I put this all over my lids. And I will say it was nice. It's not my favorite, but it was nice. So this is what this one looks like. It's more of a peachy. I was expecting more of a burnt orange, but I did like the color of it. I was able to blend it out. It gave me enough time to blend and do what I needed to do, but when I put one layer on, it kind of picked up on itself. So I had to put a second layer on, let it dry kind of thing for it to stay. It stayed pretty well. I did top it off with a different shadow on it because I didn't trust it 100%, but it actually stayed on. It stayed on. It didn't crease. At least for now, it didn't do that. So I liked it. Okay, I liked it. Pulled out this Bare Minerals. BH Cosmetics. They don't make these anymore. Obviously, BH is not around. It's Captivating. These are one of their Diamond Dazzlers. I have quite a few of these. This is what this one looks like. It's a like flaky, kind of sparkly looking. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like sparkly. It's a sheer topper. But I liked it because this is what I topped on that Wet n Wild thing. That liquid eye. It's very pretty. I've always liked these. These are chunkier, but again, once they get on my finger and I rub it, it melts really nice on my finger. So I like this one as well. I'm very happy I pulled that out. This was the first time I pulled this out. This is a contouring powder face and eyes by Burberry in Earthy Blush. I never used this one, but I used this one as an eyeshadow and I really liked it. I might end up panning this sometime in the future, but it's really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. You can see it now with my tan. It's like a lighter color, but it's very smooth, very nice, and very heavy for such a small little thing. I got that free with purchase somewhere. I don't remember where. Then I wanted to pull out one of these. These are the Sephora. This is a shimmer in golden bronze. These are their singles that they have. And let's see if I can get a good swatch of this one. Because I put this one all over the lid as like a sheer look. Isn't that pretty? So I really liked it because it gave me a smoky eye, but it wasn't necessarily something that it was out there like super smoky where it was like this is like a daytime smoky. That's what I would call that. Very, very pretty. Like that one. Super Shock Shadow in DGAF. This one's drying up a little bit, but once I get that oil on here, it'll work perfectly fine. Again, another one that I really love for this time of year. See how pretty that is? This is what I was expecting this one to look like. See the difference? So, yep, really enjoyed this one. Up next, remember these? I don't know if you guys remember these. This is the Lorac. It's like a putty, not a putty, but like a cream, a drier cream formula in the color Suede. So this is what this one looks like. Oh gosh, you guys, this, stunning. I absolutely loved how this looked. This looks so sophisticated on my eyes. Just gorgeous. It's right there. Can you see that? It is so beautiful. I love this. This is so beautiful. I forgot how much I enjoy these and how much these are still kicking strong. These are just gorgeous. I don't know if they have these anymore. Maybe on the Lorac website. But as of right now, I have all the colors and I'm so happy I still keep them. And they're not dried up. I feel like some of these can get dried up. That one does not get dried up. These Moira Lucent Cream Shadows. I pulled out Orion, which is this shade right here. This is my first time playing around with this kind of shadow. And I really liked it. Look how pretty that is. I liked it. I was afraid it was going to crease on me, but it doesn't. These do not, and I tried it now where it's warm, so it worked out. The other one that I tried was the Ulta Beauty Bouncy Eyes. I have a few of these. I tried one last year, and I was like, eh. And then I tried this one in Italian Ice and really fell in love with this one. This one I really did fall in love with. So let's swatch this one here. See it right there? It's very similar to the Moira one, so you might be able to skip one or the other. Very beautiful though. And it did last on my eyes. That's another thing. Like these are very, very similar. So if you have one, you don't need the other one. So if you run to go Ulta and Moira's not that accessible to you, Ulta one's good. The other Moira one that I tried was this cream eyeshadow in, it's the Everlust Shimmer Cream Shadow in the color Strawberry Glaze. Some of these have shimmer to them, like a glitter mixed in them, and other ones aren't. This one does not. And I wasn't too impressed with this, to be honest with you. I really wasn't, but I am giving it more of an opportunity in the future because I was expecting a little bit more, but maybe I'm just not putting it on right. So there it is right there. It's pretty as a swatch. So like I said, I need to play around with it. I was expecting more of a glimmer, shimmer, kind of something like this Lorac one where it has this shimmer to it, and it doesn't. But I know that other ones that I do own, I don't own all of them. I only own like 5. Another one that I have has glitter in it, so I want to try that one out. And the last one that I pulled out was this Flower Beauty Chrome Crush Pressed Pigment in the shade Topaz. This I used as a smoky eye look. I loved this. And this is like a smooth texture. Again, like these are the shades that I just love. These are all like one and done shadows, you guys. This is what I do with one and done shadows. There it is right there. Look how pretty that is. I love that. It builds up on its own and it's like nice and creamy. It looks like a cream, but it's not a cream. It's so pretty. Really like this one. So I have a few colors of this one, so I wanted to pull the darker one out. So these are all the singles that I pulled out this past month. I had a lot of fun with this one. I really, really enjoy this. I'm having a blast. So I already have another drawer full of singles that I pulled out for this month that I want to play around with. I've also made a Z palette of singles that I am playing around with this month as well, on top of other palettes that I also want to enjoy. So I'm mainly doing like 2 shadow looks, and this is why I'm pulling out my singles, because I really, really like doing that. These all were great. None of these do I want to declutter, and that's another thing. If I find one that I do want to declutter, I'll let you guys know in the series. If not, this is what I have. So I'm going to keep playing around. This is the least favorite one this month, but I'm going to continue to play around with it because it's still looking nice. It's just I gotta figure out what to do with it. Maybe I gotta layer it or make it deeper. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll make it more opaque or something. So anyway, let me know what you guys pulled out this past month. I love to hear what you guys have pulled out. If I've inspired you guys to do this, I'd love to hear what singles you are getting. I'm a little bit nervous because Sydney Grace's Christmas in July is coming up, and I'm trying really hard not to buy much. Trying really, really hard. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the videos on the screen. Until then.